Good morning from Kentucky, also known as the Bluegrass State. We had a substantial amount of rain last night, which is the first time we've had decent rainfall in quite a while. I have been out twice a day watering my flowers, trying to keep everything alive, and we were so grateful to see the rainfall. These are the zinnias. I have been cutting these and taking bouquets to people. And with zinnias, the more you cut, the more they produce. And this patch was all sown from seeds that I had saved. And what I do when I cut like a cut flower arrangement and I don't throw the zinnias away, I cut the tops off, let them dry out, and then I have seeds for next year. So this patch of zinnias was completely free. Not a bad idea. I like to plant marigolds, tomato, and basil together. And in this particular raised bed, these marigolds have just taken right over. Look how beautiful those are. I do have some tomatoes over here. There's the tomatoes. But the marigolds, they are the star of this raised bed. Look how beautiful those are. And just like with zinnias, you save your marigold seeds and then you have free seeds for next year. Look at this beautiful cleome or cleome, however you want to pronounce it. This was from Save Seeds. These are volunteers. I did not plant anything, but look at the different colors. We have about 3 different, or maybe even 4 different colors, and the bees are just so happy. Look at all the bees that this attracts. This is a great pollinator. This is an old-fashioned flower, and it just self-seeds like crazy. So make sure you put it somewhere that you don't care for it to just go wild. We'll step into the chicken coop and just say good morning to the chickens. And I see we have a little egg over there from Miss Henny Penny, so thank you very much. And Jennifer Lyle of Landalai Farms, these, the 2 younger chickens are chickens that she gave me. They have something called crossbeak. It's not very bad, but they just need to have their feed in a little deeper bowl than what you normally would have. But they are growing and doing so good. Good morning, girls. Good morning. Many of you have seen the video where I planted this lavender. It's been at least 2 or 3 years ago. This is in a cinder block raised bed, and I simply amended the soil by adding quite a bit of sand because lavender likes good drainage. But just look at how this lavender is growing. It is beautiful. And then it's in the same bed as my foxglove, and these are going to seed. And what I plan to do, I will just cut these and lay them down. I'll sort of push them down in the soil, but this will be my foxglove bed, and from here on out, we should have plenty of foxglove in this bed. Remember that foxglove is a biannual, so if you plant it in the spring, the first year it's just going to have the green foliage, and then the second year it will bloom for you. But you can also sow in the fall, and you have a much better chance of getting flowers if you do the sowing in the fall. So September is a really great time if you want to sow things like your foxglove, your larkspur, delphiniums, anything that's a biannual. Just stick those seeds in the ground in September and make sure you mark them so when in the spring you know what you've planted. Right behind the foxglove are the Jerusalem artichokes. And these things have just multiplied like crazy. They'll soon have yellow flowers, but I will be able to harvest these and eat these. Now, I won't dig up all of the roots because I want something left in order to have a crop next year. But I'm looking forward to harvesting the Jerusalem artichokes. These are the black-eyed Susans. This is a good pollinator and a very good self-seeder. So if you have black-eyed Susans, you can just save your seeds or you can dig the plant. This is a perennial. It comes back every year. And the bees and the butterflies just absolutely love it. This is a hollyhock, and look at the beautiful flower on that. I planted these, I started these in the greenhouse this year, and as you can see, that one is getting ready to bloom. There's lots of blooms on this one. Looks like this is going to have a lot of blooms. So by starting these in the greenhouse in the late winter, I'm able to have flowers from the hollyhocks. These are hollyhocks from the same package of seeds, and look at the different colors and also the different flowers. So when I came out, I noticed that my hollyhocks had blown over. So what you have to do in a case like this is just stake them. So I have a little wooden dowel rod, and I just take a little piece of twine and I am able to stake up my flowers. That's all you need, and get your flowers off the ground and saves them from being trampled on. So there we have it. We had to stake 2 of our hollyhocks, and that's how I did it. And I just save these from year to year and reuse them. This is my big bird daylily, and I always look forward to this every year. Look at the size of that. And did you know that every part of the daylily is edible? I'm not really that interested in trying it, but I do have a friend who has actually did a video on the daylily being edible and fried up her daylilies. It was pretty interesting. And the crepe myrtles are so pretty this year. These are the purple ones. The tiger lilies are starting to open up, and of course more black-eyed Susans. And I'm sorry you see my shadow. Here are some more of my big bird daylilies, and I want you to look at the hostas. My hostas have just about had it. The heat has been so severe on these plants, and I was telling a friend recently that I have noticed over the years I will lose more hostas to the heat versus if we have a really cold winter. So, you know, unfortunately they just cannot take the heat for long periods of time. We'll continue our walkabout to the front of the house, and these plants and shrubs here are pretty established, and I haven't been trying to water them as much as I have some of the new things. But things that are established, you can let them go just a little bit more than you can if you have something that you have newly planted. It generally takes a perennial 3 years to establish itself. So just keep that in mind when you're planting. And I also noticed that the heat has been really hard on this astilbe. I hope it's not dead, but it sure does look sad. The butterfly bush is starting to bloom out, and it will just be a magnet for butterflies. Our Rose of Sharons are starting to bloom out also. Have different colors of those. I will finish this video on my front porch where the containers are doing well. Of course, during the intense heat, I've been watering these twice a day, but I appreciate everyone joining me for this little walkabout on this Friday morning. I wish everyone a fun and safe weekend, and I will see you in the next vlog.